Joining us from the Foundation for Defence of Democracies is the former IDEA spokesman, Jonathan Comricus, host of the Josh Hammer Show.
Josh Scammer. Josh Scammer.
Speak the Truth podcast. Matt, security advisor. Fred Blight.
Fred Blight.
Matt Talia, welcome to all of you to any US victory. Time to check in on how that's going. From the Foundation for Defence of Democracies.
You suck.
Jonathan Comricus, host of the Josh Hammer
you
Show.
too, you suck too.
Trump security advisor.
You too, you suck too.
Host of Speak the Truth podcast. Matt Talia, welcome to all of you. Jonathan Comricus, we had a little exchange on X this
Jonathan
week,
Fonricus. He finds a genocidal country.
On my show. You're probably one of
He finds Bibi Netanyahu a war criminal. Creeding Yahoo.
In the history of Fred Blight,
F Jonathan, bruh. F Jonathan, bruh.
Matt Talia, welcome to all of you. Jonathan Comricus, we had a little exchange on X this week, where we're always quite civilized with each other when you come on my show. You're probably one of my most returning guests, I think, in the history of Uncensored. I was a little bit surprised by the tone you took with me, but you're perfectly entitled to, obviously. But you got into categorizing the show. You said you and your endless list of lying and unhinged guests have had a vital part in creating and
this guy,
the modern day blood
says this dude who lies incessantly. Who incessantly manipulates, who incessantly says untruth, engages in untruth, meant to say.
Your endless list of lying and unhinged guests have had a vital part in creating and cementing the modern day blood of Uncensored. I was a little bit surprised by the tone you took with me.
This bloke is a hypocrite. This chop is a hypocrite.
You got into
F this dude.
categorizing the show. You said
you have no room to say anybody is lying, anybody is manipulative, anybody is mendacious, anybody is untruthful. Go sit down.
And its military. There are some of the more obvious ones. Talk about civilian. But
go sit down, ninja.
You said you and your endless list of lying and unhinged guests have had a vital part in creating and cementing the modern day blood libels against the Jewish state and its military. There are some of the more obvious ones.
To be fair to him, certain guests are hateful and deprecatory of Jewish people. Yes, I certain people, yes, but to say everybody who opposes the government, who opposes Netanyahu, who opposes Gavir, who opposes Smotrich, who opposes the Israel Defense Forces is anti-Jewish or anti-Jew or anti-Semitic or Jew-hating is crazy. It is absurd. It is ridiculous. It is ludicrous. It is baseless. It is groundless. It is unfounded. There's no basis in reality. This dude, the fragility of this dude is crazy. The fragileness within this bloke. The fragileness within this bloke is all the way detestable. The softness, the weakness is all the way detestable. F this dude.
Lock in with deals on all your game day snacks and groceries. Store game day deals for a limited time on Uber Eats.
Hello, Moto. Our neighbors are coming over. We find you very attractive. Oh no!
Wow. What's going on?
Skip this ad. Horseshoe Gang. Skip this ad. Horseshoe Gang. Bars.
Serious and well-functioning strategic and diplomatic.
of the administration, they understood
Hold up.
come from a country where war Iranians as they
President, and we're going to go through with half the stuff that Matt's talking about anyways.
Hold on.
negative developments, and I have set humanitarian aid.
You know, dozens of times, to be clear, on a show that many people, as you know, have a similarly egregious view. Numbers. Is Morgan should stop peddling lies, propaganda, and United Nations, Al Jazeera, and so on, and count civilian v combatants ratio. But to all of you, Jonathan Conrickers, we had a little exchange on X this week, where we're always quite civilized with each other when you come on my show. You're probably one of my most returning guests, I think, in the history of Uncensored. I was a little bit surprised by the tone you took with me, but you're perfectly entitled to, obviously. But you got into categorizing this show. You said you and your endless list of lying and unhinged guests have had a vital part in creating and cementing the modern-day blood libels against the Jewish state and its military. Here are some of the more obvious ones. You talk about civilian v combatants ratio, blame everything on Hamas. International starvation and Gaza is starving. You say this is all nonsense. Genocide and war crimes, none of that. Nothing to see here. Killing of journalists, no, they're all Hamas. You say it could go on, and probably prove that every libel and lie against Israel made up by the United Nations, Al Jazeera, and so on, and countless others have gone oversized.
You just hate the truth, Conrickers. You are averse to the truth.
They keep getting invited on your show to spew their toxic lies.
Says this dude who manipulates unceasingly. Says this POS, bro. Says this piece of trash.
War crimes, none of that. Nothing to see here. Killing of journalists, no, they're all Hamas. You say it could go on, and probably prove that every libel and lie against Israel made up by the United Nations, Al Jazeera, and so on, and countless others have got oversized amplification on your show by you and your list of rabid Jew haters. They keep getting invited. They're all Hamas. You say it could go on, and probably prove that every libel and lie against Israel made up by the United Nations, Al Jazeera, and so on, and countless others have got oversized amplification on your show. Genocide and war crimes, none of that. Nothing to see here. Killing of journalists, no, they're all Hamas. You say it could go on, and probably prove that every libel and lie against Israel made up by the United Nations, Al Jazeera, and so on, and countless others have got oversized amplification on your show by you and your list of rabid Jew haters. They keep getting invited on your show to spew their toxic lies. The numbers are playing.
Says this piece of garbage. Says this piece of garbage.
Even when you rely on Hamas's inflated numbers, Piers Morgan should stop peddling lies, propaganda, and libel against the only democracy in the Middle East that is keeping jihadists at bay. So, I guess my first obvious question is, why the fuck do you keep coming on my show? That's how you feel about it.
Words. Fair question.
Keeps me sharper, and I enjoy the exchanges. But on a serious note, as you know very well, people watch your show, and it matters. You yourself have commented, and I think with the relevant level of satisfaction which you have earned, that you are an influential, very influential voice in the US, probably the most influential podcaster, non-American podcaster, and a lot of people around the world listen to this for entertainment and information. And I
this doesn't give you the right to. This doesn't entitle you to. This does not entitle you to appearances on his show. This doesn't entitle you to appearances on his show. It is what it is. Yes, he's very influential, yes, but this doesn't entitle you to appearances on his show. This is his show. So
it keeps me sharper, and I enjoy the exchanges.
He
But on
doesn't
a
have to
serious
let
note,
you on if he
as
doesn't
you know
want
very
you to
well,
come on.
People watch your show, and it matters. You yourself have commented, and I think with the relevant level of satisfaction which you have earned, that you are an influential, very influential voice in the U.S., probably the most influential podcaster,
Yeah,
North
this dude,
American podcaster.
he's so
And a lot
goofy,
of
this
people around
dude.
the world
It is
listen
crazy.
to this for entertainment and information. And I see myself as someone who cares about my country, my military. I also care about truth. And I want to
Please.
fight, I want to present an Israeli perspective, not necessarily the Israeli perspective. But I think that so far, what I've found on this channel, and I'll return your words of courtesy, I found that I've been able to speak and I've been given the opportunity to present that perspective. But I have to say, Piers, that I stand by my words. And of course, I'm
Shameless,
not happy
brazen.
if you don't like them, and if it is offensive.
No,
but
you're
I do
perfectly
think-
entitled. Don't make me be clear. You're perfectly entitled to your
Yep,
opinions.
but
I
it is
just
still
was under the
shameless. People
mistaken
can
belief
still say it
that by
is shameless
constantly having
and
you back on,
brazen.
many,
It is
many,
brazenly
many
disgraceful.
other pro-Israeli
People can say
guests
this, but
that we were
he
having
is
balance.
entitled to the terrible opinions, terrible stances, morally repulsive stances he holds or gives.
I want to present an Israeli perspective, not necessarily the Israeli perspective. But I think that so far, what I've found on this channel, and I'll return your words of courtesy, I found that I've been able to speak and I've been given the opportunity to present that perspective. But I have to say, Piers, that I stand by
He's one
my
of the
words.
kings of propaganda, bro. He wants to say other people are propagandizing and engaging in propaganda. Yeah. He has a lot of nerve. He has the temerity, the unmitigated gall, in the words of Stephen A. Smith, to say this BS, bro. He has the unmitigated gall, in the words of Stephen A. Smith, to say this BS. Crazy, crazy-ish, crazy, Uncle Murder.
But I have to say, Piers, that I stand by my words, and of course I'm not happy if you don't like them and if it is offensive.
No,
But
you're
I do
perfectly
think-
entitled. Don't make me be clear. You're perfectly entitled to your opinions.
Word.
I just was under the mistaken belief that by constantly having you back on and many
People
many
can still
other
say
pro-Israeli
you
guests,
are a goofy
we were
though,
having
Conricus,
balanced debate
Fonricus.
between competing positions, competing people. Many people, as you know, have a similarly egregious view of you
Yep.
on the stuff you come out with.
Yep.
I've interjected a few times, but I felt that's got too ad hominem. I was just surprised that you decided to lay into me for platforming people that you categorise everyone, it seems, who's criticised Israel as a Jew hater, which I think is a egregious view of you.
What a lot of people say pertaining to Conricus is true though. He is a supporter of terrorism. It is Israeli terrorism. The IDF is doing, but he's also a supporter of terrorism. He's also a supporter of terrorism. It is just on a different
I
side.
think it also played. You decided to lay into me for platforming people that you
The
categorise
victims are of a
everyone, it
different
seems, criticised
religion.
Israel as a
Religion.
Jew hater.
The victims
I
are
think
of
it
a
was
different
grotesque
race,
mischaracterization
but
of
the action is still the same.
And I think it also plays, to me, it plays into this extremely wanted to lay into me for platforming people that you categorise everyone, it seems, who's criticised Israel as a Jew hater. Which I think
The
is a
adjective is still the same.
mischaracterization of
Evil,
the
immoral,
people talking about. And I think it
savage,
also plays, to
subhuman,
me,
cretinous,
plays into this
villainous,
extremely
flagitious,
insidious aspect of the whole debate.
wicked,
Everyone, it seems, who's criticised
hellish,
Israel
inhumane,
as a Jew hater, which I think is a grotesque mischaracterization
hideous,
of
odious,
people talking
detestable.
about. And I think it also plays, to me, it plays into this extremely. You decided to lay into me for platform that we were having balanced debates between competing positions, competing
Stances,
people.
opinions,
Many
views,
people, as you know,
beliefs.
have a similarly egregious view of you and the stuff you come out with. and I've interjected a few times when I felt that's got too ad hominem. I was just surprised that you decided to lay into me for platforming people.
Unbelievable. Conrique is the treatment he gives Piers. He subjects Piers to. The treatment he subjects Piers to is crazy. He should be grateful for this ninja. He should be grateful for Piers. Immensely grateful. He should be immensely grateful.
You decided to lay into me for platforming people that you categorize.
But he's showing ingratitude. Unbelievable.
Which I think is a
despicable
mischaracterization of most of the people you're talking about. And I think it also plays, to me, it plays into this extremely insidious aspect of the whole debate since October the 7th, which is
2023.
Any criticism of Israel, or any
The
criticism
Gov,
of
or
the
Netanyahu.
or any criticism of Benjamin Netanyahu,
Bibi
or his government,
Netanyahu.
which contains some of the most disgusting headbangers.
Yep,
in
genocidal
the
people.
anywhere in the world. I'm talking about Ben Gvir.
As far as certain people in the government, not all Jewish people, but certain Jewish people, they are genocidal. They are inhumane. The stuff they say ethnically cleanse, illegally dispossess Gazans from their homes, bro. Or illegally displace them from their homes, meant to say illegally transfer them, illegally dispossess them of their homes, crazy, deprive them. This is what people like Ben Gvir say. This is why he's banned from eight or nine countries, bro.
In the history of governments anywhere in the world. I'm talking about Ben Gvir, Smotrich, and others openly advocate for burning Lebanon to the ground.
Yeah, Gvir says this, burn Lebanon. You got people who defends this. They say he doesn't mean burn innocent Lebanese people. Nah, they're bugging. They're simps, bro. Terrible, detrimental. Simps are amongst the worst. A simp is one of the worst groups of people, bro. People who simp for morally low individuals. Yeah, people who simp for morally low individuals. The people who simp for the morally low individuals are deleterious. They are detrimental. They are inimical.
Presenting a platform for endless Jew haters to spread blood libel. So yeah, I take exception, Jonathan, having always, I think, treated you fairly. I've interjected when I felt you'd been treated in a particularly unpleasant ad hominem way, and to see you spray gunning your verdict on this show.
Yeah, to deprecate Piers is really despicable.
Blood libels, and in the process, just disassociating yourself from any criticism that's come Israel's way in a perfectly legitimate manner for a lot of the awful things, frankly, that the Israeli government has been allowing to happen on its watch and
perpetrated.
It was incredibly disappointing.
Beyond disappointing, it is despicable, abhorrent, abominable,
or Israel, Israeli government
hateable.
Is an automatic Jew hater. That, to me, is the worst thing of
Gross.
this whole debate from day one.
Disgusting.
There is no correlation for me between criticizing something you say,
EMETIC,
says, or particularly Ben Gvir and Smotrich, or criticizing the IDF when I think they deserve it, that makes me a Jew hater.
Word.
So I just was surprised. Why do that? Why be so frankly pathetic?
Yeah.
I don't think I am. And if you I want to reply.
The delusion is crazy, bro. The delusion, the lack of self-reflection is crazy, bro.
Makes me a Jew hater. So I just was surprised.
The arrogance, the ego, the hubris, the belief he's superior morally because he aligns with a certain. Yeah, it is crazy, bro.
First things
Terrible.
When I said
hater. So I just was surprised. Why do
So-
that? Why be so frankly pathetic?
Words.
I don't think I am. And if you'll allow me, I want to reply to what you said. First things first. When I say, on this show, as you said, I've been on a few times.
A lot of,
this show,
not just a
Dozens
few.
of times, to be clear,
Yeah, this-
on a show that you think just platforms Jew haters.
It's really getting tiresome, Piers. If you're not going to talk about Iran, I'm just going to log off.
I couldn't
Major
give a-
pointless.
I
Move on.
don't give a monkey what you want to do. If you want to log off, log off. Alright, well, log off. Fine.
Yeah, Fred, the audacity of Fred
Anybody else wants to log off?
to
I'll
try
log
to
off.
bogart,
If
to
anybody
try
wants
to
log off, I
control
don't think it's
things
surprising
on Piers,
that I would want to have
on
this,
PM's
outrage
show
on
is
him,
crazy,
given
bro.
What he said on a public
Yeah,
platform about
who
big-
is this ninja to dictate what Piers does and doesn't do on his own channel, his own show? Crazy.
I'll try to be brief.
Anybody else
nerve,
wants to log off?
the
I'll
nerve
log off
of
to
this
other guests,
ninja,
but
bro.
If anybody else wants to log off, I don't think it's
Getting tiresome, Piers. If you're not going to talk about Iran, I'm just going to log off.
Log off,
I
ninja.
don't give a monkey's what you want to do. If you want to log off, log off.
Alright.
Alright, well, log off. Fine. Carry on, John.
Goofy, bro.
I'll try to
Goofy.
be brief.
If anybody else wants to log off, I will come to other guests, but if anybody else wants to log off, I don't think it's surprising that I would want to have this out with Jonathan, given what he said on a public platform about me and the show. So I'm going to finish that conversation, then I'll come to the other guests.
Yeah, so being respectful of others and the time, I'll try to be concise. One, on this show, you have had a long list of people who I deem are hypocrites.
So are
I
you.
think that they are hypocrites.
You are
I
a
think that
hypocrite.
their criticism
Yo,
of
yo, the
Israel
delusion is
actually
crazy, bro.
A facade, a front for. I think that they are
You are a
hypocrites, and why do
hypocrite.
I think that their criticism of Israel is actually a facade, a front for. Why do I think that they are hypocrites, and why do I think that their criticism?
You have
of
no room to
Israel
say anybody is
actually
a hypocrite, bro. You gotta
facade,
chill.
front For good old-fashioned.
You have to chill.
All about me and the show. So I'm going to finish that conversation, then I'll come to the other guests.
You're bugging.
Yeah, so being respectful of others and the time, I'll try to be concise. One, on this show, you have had a long list of people who I deem
Certain people are hypocrites.
Why do I think that they
Certain
are
pro-Palestine
hypocrites?
people,
Why do I
yes.
think that their
But to
criticism
say
of
all
Israel
people who
is
sympathize
actually
with the
a
Palestinian people, the
facade,
innocents,
front for good
is
old-fashioned Jew hatred
all the
is
way
because all of the
trash,
topics
bro.
that
To
they
say
allegedly
they're all
care about, civilians in
Terrys
war,
or
Christians being
Terry
wounded
sympathizers,
or maltreated,
to say
journalists
they're all
having
haters
a
of
bad
Jewish
day at
people
the office
is
or even
nuts.
getting wounded.
It is disgraceful, bro.
Facade, a front for good old-fashioned Jew hatred.
Nope.
You have had a
This
long
is
list of people who
dismissing.
I deem
This
are
is
hypocrites. Why do I think that they are hypocrites, and why do I think that
Yeah.
their criticism of Israel is actually a facade, a front?
not everybody.
for
This
good
doesn't
old-fashioned
apply
Jew
to
hatred?
everybody
It's
who
because all
opposes
of the
Israel.
topics
This
that
doesn't.
they allegedly
This does
care
not
about,
apply
civilians
to
in
everybody.
war,
This does
Christians
not
being
apply
wounded
to
or
everybody who
maltreated,
opposes
journalists
the government
having
of
a bad day
Israel.
at the office or even getting wounded or actually a facade.
This
a
is
front
true for
good
true
old-fashioned
for
Jew
certain
hatred
people,
is
yes.
because all of the
But
topics
not
that
for
they
all.
allegedly care
So
about. You have had
knock it
a
off.
long list of people who I deem are hypocrites. Why do I think that they are hypocrites, and why do I think that their criticism
the
of
hypocrisy
Israel
within this
is
dude
actually
is on a
facade
whole nother
front
level, bro.
for
A
good
whole
old-fashioned
different
Jew
level.
hatred is because all of the topics that they allegedly care about, civilians in war, Christians
Allegedly, a lot of them genuinely care.
journalists
Yo,
having
yo.
a bad day at the office or even getting
Really, this dude doesn't
or,
care.
God
Really.
forbid, killed. And humanitarian aid, international
Who's
law,
really
media
anti-Jew? Who's
freedom,
really
a
the
long list, international law and the
yeah,
ratio
who's
of
really this label?
combatants
Who's really
versus
this label?
combatants
Who does
killed
this label
in
really
urban
fit?
Warfare, terrorism, sexual violence, combatants versus combatants killed in urban warfare.
The people who have fair
terrorism,
criticisms of the
sexual
government
violence, a list list is very long, and so many.
The people who don't lump all Jewish people in the same bucket or box, or the person who hates baits by saying,
and they haven't had to face questions like me,
or the person who equates anti-Israel government rhetoric to anti-Semitic language. Who's really the anti-Jew person? Who's really causing? Who's really contributing to division, to hate, to BS? You contribute to. You cause more division when you say everybody who opposes the government is anti-Semitic. You are endangering. You are putting more Jews in danger. You are imperiling more Jews' safety, bro. When you say everything you disagree with is Jew hatred, when you say this, you put more Jews' lives in danger, bro. So who's really the anti-Jew person?
They've been given free rein to spew,
This dude, he's fake. He's fugazi, bro.
I've always challenged them from day
F
one.
this
In
dude.
fact, as you know, for the first year after October the 7th, I was getting widely criticised.
Yep.
Have gotten this powerful platform, and they haven't had to sexual violence. The list is very war, Christians being wounded, or all of the topics that they allegedly care about, civilians in war, Christians being wounded or maltreated, journalists having a bad day at the office or even getting wounded or, God forbid, killed, and humanitarian aid, international law, media freedom, a long, long list, international war and the ratio of the non-combatants versus combatants killed in urban warfare, terrorism, sexual violence. The list is very long, and so many of the people who have been repeat offenders on this show, Anna Kasparian,
Please. Cenk Uygur, no. Anna, no. No, this is defamation, bro. This is slander. This is calumniation. This is traducement. This is all of these things. This is besmirching of their reputation. This is, he's engaging in the besmirching of these people's reputations. He is engaging in the besmirching of these people's reputations. Crazy. Anna never said all Jews suck. Cenk never said all Jews suck. Mehdi didn't say this either. Mehdi Hassan. Even though I don't align with him politically, even though I don't agree with Cenk and Anna politically, they're all left. Anna is independent, but she's left leaning. The Cenk and Mehdi, they are left people, left wing people. These two. All three of them are left, but Cenk and Mehdi are more left than Anna is.
Mehdi Hassan and many others have gotten this powerful platform, and they haven't had to face questions like me. They've been given free rein to spew, frankly.
Absolutely.
This show, Anna Kasparian, Cenk Uygur,
Cenk Uygur. Get the pronunciation correct, bro. You should know the correct pronunciation by now, bro. You should know the correct pronunciation. Yeah, he's being petty, bro. He's being this ninja is he's being bogus on purpose, purposely.
They haven't had to face questions like me. Sexual violence.
Lies.
The list is very long, and so many of the people
they've gotten challenged. Mehdi, Anna, Cenk, all of these people have gotten challenged. Dave Smith, who else? Scott Horton, Libertarian. Dave Libertarian. Dave S. What do you mean, ninja?
Absolute nonsense.
Norman Finkelstein, who's on the left, he's a
for the first year after October the 7th, I was getting widely criticised.
Was Abby Martin on Morgan's show before? Did she appear before? I think so. If my memory is correct. She has appeared on his show too. Yeah, Abby Martin, Rania K, the Lebanese commentator, who's she's soft on Hamas to me. This is crazy, but we agree on a lot of things when it comes to the government for sure. But she's too soft on Hamas, bro.
To defend itself after October the 7th, which I still believe it had a fundamental right to do.
Hamas is a terror group, not a resistance group. Hamas is evil. Rania doesn't think Hamas is a terror group like the IDF is. They're both terror groups. There's no inconsistency with me. There's no inconsistency with me. I've been saying both are terror groups since the beginning. Since
increasingly a global pariah, and one of the reasons for that, which I find
since the jump
incredibly dispiriting, as somebody who has a lot of Jewish friends, trash me by association, and brand pretty much anyone that you don't by the pro-Palestinian side who felt it was outrageous that I was defending is.
I've gotten this powerful platform, and they haven't had to face questions like me. They've been given free rein to spew, frankly,
absolute nonsense that I've always challenged them from day one. In fact, as you know, for the first year after October the 7th, I was getting widely criticised in a vicious way by the other side. Right, by the pro-Palestinian side, who felt it was outrageous that I was defending Israel's right to defend itself, or moral duty to defend itself after October the 7th, which I still believe it had a fundamental right to do. Right, so I've been attacked by both sides. The surprise with you, Jonathan, is that you have come on this platform more than any of them. And I've always been fair-minded to you.
Yeah.
And yet you decided to disparage the show, to trash the show, trash me by association, and brand pretty much anyone that you don't agree with about this. And bear in mind the subtext, which is that Israel's been becoming increasingly a global pariah, and one of the reasons for that, which I find incredibly dispiriting, as somebody who has a lot of Jewish friends and who's always supported Israel, its right to exist, its right to defend itself, all of those things. The most dispiriting thing is that this constant refrain that any criticism immediately is actually about Jew hatred. It is an appalling. You talk about blood libel. That right there is a blood libel.
When it is repeated, and I'm not going to be in a contest here. You've got the mic here in the studio. I'm not even going to try to compete with your mic. I just want to say this: when people are given continuous platforms to come with their tired. When Mehdi Hassan, he's basically repeating Hamas propaganda in English and adapting
I think Mehdi is a goofy too. He's very woke. He's very biased. He's very partialistic to the left. He's very partialistic to Muslims. He's a Muslim. I get it. I really do get it. I really do understand where he's coming from, but he's too partialistic. He's too biased. He's too partial. He's too partial, but he's not some Hamas supporter. He's not some apologist of Hamas, so we have to be logical, we have to be fair. Even though Mehdi is a goofy, I agree that we agree, we both agree that Mehdi is a goofy, but to say he's an apologist of Hamas, to say this is crazy.
You have Anna Kasparian, and you have Chink, and you have all other matters of people who have come here. And you have Anna Kasparian, and you have Chink, and you have all other.
It is an appalling. You talk about blood libel. That right there is a blood libel. Well, its right to exist, its right to defend itself, all of those things. The most dispiriting thing is that this constant refrain that any criticism immediately is actually about Jew hatred. It is an appalling. You talk about blood libel. That right there is a blood libel.
when it is repeated, and I'm not going to be in a contest here. You've got the mic here in the studio. I'm not even going to try to compete with your mic. I just want to say this: when people are given continuous platforms to come with their tired, Mehdi Hassan, he's basically repeating Hamas propaganda.
What evidence?
Doing it in English and adapting
Give the
it to
evidence.
Western audience. And you have Anna Kasperi.
You have no
and you
evidence.
Cenk, and you have all other matters of people who have come here.
And what about all the pro-Israeli guests?
The Douglas Murrays, the pro-Israeli people.
String of others.
The Ben Shapiros, the Emily Austins, the Emily Schraders, these puppets, the Tatums, the Dennis Pragers. Did Dennis Prager appear on the show before? I think so too. I think he did too. The Josh Scammers.
A contest here. You've got the mic here in the studio. I'm not even going to try to compete with your mic. I just want to say
the Elika Lakans, the Iranian puppets of Israel, of Netanyahu.
He's basically repeating Hamas propaganda, doing it in English and adapting it to a Western audience. And you have Anna Kasperi, and you have Cenk, and you have...
Don't get it twisted. Don't get this twisted. Certain people from the pro-Palestine side are terrible. Nerdine, Myron, Dan Blazarian, Mohammed Hijab. Certain people are terrible, bro. They are apologists of Hamas. They do say Hamas is a resistance group, not a terror group. Andrew Tate said Hamas is a resistance group. Goofy.
You have heard me say all other matters of people who have come here.
And what about all the pro-Israeli guests?
But you have real anti-Israel people. You have legit people. People who have legit criticisms of the government. Who hate the actions the IDF is doing.
Definitely not.
Not hate all Jewish people or all Israeli people.
You have heard me say, and when you say that I, cast aside the entire show and that anybody who, like Asperia, and you have Cenk, and you have all other matters of people who have come here. And
what about all the pro-Israeli guests?
Yeah, TYT, they're going to respond to this for sure on their channel. They're going to, they are going to discuss this.
That I, cast aside the entire show.
They're getting traduced, calumniated, deprecated, slandered.
Definitely not.
Again, for no good reason.
On your show, you have heard me say several times direct criticism of the IDF, of wrongdoings, of the Israeli government, of various ministers who I think have made horrible mistakes, and this
euphemism, softness, mistakes, you poltron, you craven caitiff, you pusillanimous P.
Of the Israeli government, of various ministers who I think have made horrible mistakes, and
you invertebrate individual. Mistakes. Get the please miss me.
Direct criticism.
Miss me with that.
Of wrongdoings of the Israeli government, of various ministers who I think have made horrible mistakes.
Horrible mistakes. Horrible mistakes.
Very negative
nah.
developments, and I have said that clearly, unequivocally. When
evil.
Israel, by mistake, hit a humanitarian, the world
evil.
Convoy,
evil.
By mistake, misidentified them for Hamas terrorists. We struck them. I wasn't spokesperson then, but I said clearly, this shouldn't have happened, and I'm happy that it is
not tough enough, not strong enough, not good enough. Goofy?
I think have made horrible mistakes and distasteful comments and been part of very negative developments, and I have said that clearly, unequivocally. When Israel, by mistake, hit a humanitarian, the World Kitchen convoy, by mistake, misidentified them for Hamas terrorists, we struck them.
Please.
I wasn't spokesperson then, but I said clearly, this shouldn't have happened, and I'm happy that an Israeli...
Well, by your criteria, then you must be... in that case, you must be a Jew hater. Anyway,
facts.
Let's move on.
According to the logic, bars. PM just spat bars, bro. He cooked Conricus. He cooked him the whole time, but this part was...
By mistake, misidentified them for Hamas terrorists. We struck them.
He ended this very strong.
this shouldn't have happened.
PM
and
did.
I'm happy
This-
that an
Well,
Israeli
by your
officer
criteria,
was-
then you must
was
be.
reprimanded.
In that case, you must be a Jew hater spreading blood libels. Anyway, let's
No.
move on.